Welcome back, third graders. The things that you need for this activity today is your science notebook and a pen or a pencil. So if you don't have those items, you need to go ahead and pause this video and go and get them now. I'm so glad you got those materials. Now we are going to go ahead and look and see what our larvae look like for today. We have our painted lady butterflies, and then we also need to make some observations of our Wisconsin fast plants. So here is what you will need for today. Don't forget your dash date is 10-5-20. Last week with Mrs. Rasmussen, you all talked about the word adaptations, and we learned that there are two different kinds of adaptations. You can either have a behavioral adaptation or a physical adaptation. Today, we are going to be talking about birds and the kinds of physical and behavioral adaptations that birds can have. So, some physical adaptations that birds can have are talking about maybe their wings and how they are grown. We are in particular going to be talking about the physical adaptation of the bird's beak and how that beak works and what it can do for the bird. Some behavioral adaptations might be that birds migrate for the winter. Or maybe we're talking about the way that birds fly. That could be a behavioral adaptation. Some birds choose to fly in groups, and a lot of us have seen a specific V pattern that geese fly in. And if you haven't seen that, then I would encourage you to look up when you hear some honking sounds to see if you can see a flock of geese that are flying high up in the sky in a V-shaped pattern. Our learning target for today is I can explore how a bird's beak helps it to survive. So we are going to be figuring out some of those adaptations that different birds have, that physical adaptation of their beak and how they use it. We will be looking at these four birds in particular. We have the hummingbird, the house finch, the penguin, and the brown pelican. We are going to figure out how each of these birds have different beaks and how they use them differently than one another. Since this experiment has to do with real life creatures, we are going to have to simulate or kind of make up some of the items that would be similar to something that a bird would eat in real life. We are going to be working with some of these items. As you can see, I've labeled them nectar and fish and seeds, but I don't think that that is fish or that that is real nectar. So we are pretending or using these things to simulate what it would be like if we were real birds out in the wild. These are the types of foods that birds eat. So, based off of the birds that we saw earlier, and now this food that we have here, I want you to make a prediction. Which of these four types of birds will eat what of those three options? Which of these birds eat fish? Which of these birds eat seeds? And then based off that beak, which of these birds would eat nectar? Make your prediction and write on a brand new page with the title Beaks. And I want you to predict using this question which birds eat which items. Now that you've made your prediction as to which birds eat which items, I want you to go ahead and watch these clips and notice what tools the experimenter is using, along with which bird goes with which food. Then I will have some questions for you to answer after seeing all of our birds, all of the tools, and all of the foods that they eat.